Righto, good evening my lovelies and welcome to another episode of this magnificent Pokemon Ruby walkthrough. To recap, last episode we rescued the ineffective professor from drowning or something like that, and we have been given Lola, our delightful little Torchic, who has a lonely nature, which is rather prophetic if you stick around to see what happens with the rest of my team. Level 5, that's pretty much how you get all your Pokemon in most games. You get a starter at level 5, they know things like Scratch and Growl, which you will never need at the end of the game. So, something I quite like about Ruby and Sapphire and the later games is they brought in this ability system. So, Blaze ups fire moves in a pinch, and some of the cool ones later on give you things like poisoning or being immune to certain things. It's a pretty useful ability. So we've been told we've got to go meet Brendan, who is up north somewhere. Oh god. First wild battle of the game. Another Poochyena. You seem to get a lot of level 2 Poochyenas around here. Normally I'm just going to skip out wild battles just because they're all pretty formulaic, but since this is the first one, I think it's monumentous. Another 15 hit points. Brilliant. Yeah, normally in this game I'd just going to go heal. Normally in this game I'd try and train up a bit before I went up to meet Brendan, but to be honest, right now I'm going to have a go at taking him without trying. This could turn out very embarrassing for me, but your first game with your rival doesn't tend to be too difficult. Now, if you come up here and come speak to this guy, he is going to totally spaz out at you if you try and walk on them. So, best to leave him to it for now. Early on in the game you can't go to the mart and get Pokeballs, so there's no point trying to wander around trying to catch Pokemon. I figured I'd just... Sorry about that. Cut out one of the those wild battles there. I'll tell you this for nothing, it was another Poochyena. So this is Brandon, who appears to be studying a Christmas tree. So let's just go right ahead and talk to him. Exclamatory! He's a little distracted apparently by the tree, and he seems to think that he can take me in a Pokemon battle. So this spiky white-haired teenager is going to be showing what's what. And Brandon likes mudkips. Good for him. It's well documented fact that your rival slash opponent is always going to be a douche and pick whatever Pokemon your Pokemon's weak to, but in the first match that really doesn't matter since all you're doing is pounding and tackling and scratching the crap out of one another. So that level up we got earlier on from fighting Poochyenas has served us well, and we're going to be up to level 7. And I learned Focus Energy, another pretty much entirely useless move. Apparently I'm not too shabby. 300, not bad. I don't really want to know why his dad has his eye out for me. Can befriend any Pokemon. Righto, so I'm going to head back to the lab then. The early part of the game tends to be pretty boring, setting you up on your journey. Nothing particularly exciting to see around here. He's just reminding me to head back to the lab, which is something he told me a good 5 seconds ago. But yeah, so hop back over these ledges. I apologise at the moment for the quality of my voice. I have fallen ill. It's freezing cold in England at the moment, and everyone's getting horrible diseases. This guy will always say that. He will always say, "Oh hey, I hear you beat Brandon on your first try," even if you lose a billion squillion times. But here you go, you get the Pokedex. They'll always find some contrived way of giving you a Pokedex. In this situation I'm apparently better than his son, and therefore I'm some sort of god. But yeah, Brandon will show up throughout the game And he'll give you things. He's a pretty awful rival if he just thinks, if I give you Pokeballs, then I'm a really great rival and now you're going to catch Pokemon and be better than me. But he gives you some quite useful things later on, some HMs and some devices. So, with that, I say we cut straight out of Little Root Town and go... Wait. Yes. This is probably my favourite part of this generation of games. Is before you used to spend ages faffing about walking and waiting till you got your bike. Now you got running shoes. Specifically shoes for running. And the instructions tell me I must press the B button to run fast. That's pretty strange instructions to have on a pair of shoes. But there you go. My mum's just kicked me out of the house. And off I run with my crazy flappy hair. Right. I think we might just take Brandon to heart. And I'm going to go for a quick wander to try and find the first Pokemon to add to my team. Not what I was looking for at all. I was hoping for something cinematic and dramatic there. This is a Zigzagoon. It's pretty much the Rattata of this game. You'll find them everywhere. They're not too difficult to beat. Some people have them as a starter and they have berries sometimes. Ugh, but aside from... Full health, are you kidding me? But, critical hit. Essentially, they're not very exciting. I never really have them on my team. But I'm probably going to just cut out here and get back to you when I find the Pokemon that I want. See you in a sec. And here it is! Here's what I wanted to all along. It's only taken me about 2 seconds to find it, but this is Poochyena. Something we've fought before. And something I quite want. It's not an excellent Pokemon, I've just got sort of a soft spot in my heart for it. It evolves into a Mightyena, which is sort of a big, dark, wolf dog creature. And there we go. That wasn't too difficult now, was it? At first sight, Poochyena takes a bite at anything it moves. Wow. That's what you get if you call it a bite Pokemon. Yes, I'm going to nickname this Pokemon. And I'm pretty sure I had a fairly epic nickname pegged down for it. But I cannot for the life of me remember it. So this Pokemon is going to be called... Emily. Is that suitable, sensible, totally standard name? Let's have a look at our new Pokemon. It's a sassy Pokemon. I like it. Emily will show our Lola what for. It knows tackle. Oh well. Remember this day, everyone. A level 2 Poochyena. It will go on to great things. I think first thing we should do is swap this up to the front of the party and pray to the gods that it gets better. So I'm gonna heal up here. Just probably move on a little bit into the next route and then call it quits with my nice new team. So, Pokemon in this area is, as I've shown you, a lot of Poochyenas at quite low level, a lot of Zigzagoons. I think up north you can get some Wingles, but I might be wrong, that might be Sapphire. Out here on Route 102. Oh! This might be our... Yes, I do believe this is, aside from our required rival battle, our first trainer battle of the game against youngster Calvin and his Zigzagoon. Not quite Zoe and it's not quite Joey and his Rattata. It'll have to do though. Okay, you're not very good at all. So I'm going to swap you back out for Lola. I have a feeling this is going to be a trend with Zigzagoon to begin with, swapping it back in for its little chicken friend. Tail Whip and Tackle, that tends to be all Zigzagoon's really good for. But we're higher level than it, it should be alright. So provided it doesn't get... Okay, you're going to Tail Whip again. I was going to say provided it doesn't get in a sneaky hit on us, but it's just gonna keep tail whipping, which unfortunately doesn't do very much if you're not going to attack. But that's another level for Emily, some more XP for Darling Lola, and youngster Calvin's been defeated. You should have trained yours more, but then again, so should I. Hypocritical. Right, well I think after all these momentous firsts, our first captured Pokemon, our first wild battle, our first battle with youngster Calvin, who tells me that I should have told him if I was strong, well that's just desperately childish. I'm going to call it quits here. So tune in next time for the exciting adventures of Lonely Lola and Sassy Emily. I swear to God this is a Pokemon walkthrough and not just me making terrifying jokes. So cheers.